Some Western Sydney libraries could lose state funding after a local council voted to ban same-sex parenting books. Cumberland City Councillors voted 6-5 in favour of the motion put forward by the former mayor and Labor member Steve Christou. He claims the move is reflective of a deeply religious Western suburb community.
We have a very different cultural mix out at Cumberland, as you would know. And we have people that have deep family values, and they're very concerned. And it's not just about targeting, gay parents. They don't want any form of sexualised books or kids being opened up to any form of sexualisation.
The State Arts Minister, John Graham, says the move could breach the Anti-Discrimination Act. Let's bring in the independent MP, Alex Greenwich. Alex, what do you make of that argument by the independent, the former Labor mayor, I should say, the former Labor member as well, in relation to that community? Are they just simply representing a very conservative part of Sydney?
Well, let me start by saying that library books don't cause harm, but bigots do. Same-sex parenting, same-sex marriage, same-sex adoption are all the law of the land in Australia. And there are many same-sex parented families that are families of faith as well. And it's really important that our communities, our families are reflected in books and libraries. They're such an important resource. This is not about family values. This is about a councillor on a council playing politics with the lives and families of LGBTQ people.
As when we covered the same-sex marriage vote, those areas of Western Sydney were the areas that really voted very heavily no in that vote at the time. Is it just simply a community that is not open to issues of equality? They weren't certainly during the marriage equality question. Is that something that you just have to grapple with?
Well, look, first I would push back on that. Although there were some Western Sydney seats where there wasn't a yes vote recorded, it was still in 30 or 40% of those communities that did support reform, and we expect that those figures have probably increased since then. We also know that these libraries are safe places for LGBTQ people, for LGBTQ kids and parents, for rainbow families to come get resources and information to shelter themselves from the discrimination that they may be feeling. We're talking about a community library here. And what we are seeing is the politicisation of libraries and books from some fringes of politics. I'm concerned about this for many reasons. One main reason is this is some of that MAGA Republican stuff that we're seeing in the US. And it's very concerning to see it being imported here. As an elected representative, we get to choose how we use our time. I use my time to represent my community and to fight for my community. Here, we have some councillors using their time not to do their job by looking after the cost of living crisis, by looking after their community, but using their time to try to import these far-right US MAGA Republican tactics to cause harm to vulnerable people in their community. Fortunately, there's a local government election later this year.
Yeah, indeed, and people can vote these individuals out. Do you expect that sort of outcome, given the way that this has been received,
Absolutely.
This vote? Incidentally, we should remember it was 6-5. It wasn't a unanimous decision.
Well, that's right. And I would say for two reasons those in this local community would be concerned. One, they're seeing their libraries being targeted by elected councillors. And if it's books about the LGBT community, which community is next that's going to be targeted? And I think people who live in Cumberland local council should be worried about that. Two, this is how these councillors are choosing to use their time with all of the challenges that their community faces. I mean, come on, get on with your real job. Don't waste ratepayers' money by letting them fund your wage, which you're using to attack a vulnerable group in your community.
Alex Greenwich, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.